Have you ever noticed yourself creating distance from the very people you wish would stay? That moment when someone gets too close and something inside you builds a wall? It's one of life's most painful contradictions, longing for connection while simultaneously pushing it away. Today, we're exploring the hidden patterns behind this paradox, the unconscious dance between yearning and retreat that shapes our deepest relationships. What if I told you that the person who fears rejection most intensely is often the same person who creates it? Stay with me on this journey as we uncover the invisible patterns guiding this contradiction. If you find yourself nodding along, take a moment to subscribe to 9 Mirrors. We explore these deep emotional patterns every week. Think back to a moment when someone was truly getting close to you. Perhaps they were beginning to see past your carefully constructed image. The real you was becoming visible. Did you feel that flutter of panic, that subtle urge to create distance? The mind whispers, if they truly see me, they'll leave anyway. Better to control when and how. And so begins the push, the subtle withdrawal, the creation of problems where none existed, the finding of flaws, the manufacturing of distance, all to protect ourselves from the very thing we fear most, rejection. But here's the cruel irony. In our attempt to avoid rejection, we often engineer the exact outcome we dread. We reject first, we leave first, we create the scenario we're most afraid of. This pattern doesn't emerge from nowhere, it grows from early soil. Perhaps as a child, your vulnerability was met with abandonment, or your authentic expression was dismissed, criticized, or punished. The young mind makes a decision. Being truly seen is dangerous, and so the heart develops a defensive strategy. Create distance before getting hurt. It's not weakness, it's not brokenness. It's your inner protector doing exactly what it learned to do, keeping you safe from pain. Think about that for a moment. The very behavior you might judge in yourself was once your mind's brilliant solution, an act of self-preservation. This contradiction expresses itself in countless subtle ways. You share something deeply personal, then immediately change the subject. You invite someone closer, then become unavailable. You open up emotionally, then find reasons why the relationship won't work. You crave deep connection, but feel most comfortable with people who keep things surface level. You're drawn to unavailable people, then feel confirmed in your fear that meaningful connection isn't possible. You create tests that others inevitably fail, confirming your belief that no one will truly stay. Does any of this feel familiar? If these patterns resonate with you, know that you're not alone. These invisible dances shape countless relationships. And if you're finding value in this exploration, consider subscribing to 9 Mirrors. We create these reflective spaces every week. Living in this contradiction extracts a price. Imagine yourself as both the guard and the prisoner, longing to be free while simultaneously reinforcing the walls of your confinement. The cost is invisible, but immense. Relationships that never reach their potential. Connections cut short before they bloom. The exhaustion of constantly managing emotional proximity. The loneliness of being surrounded by people who don't truly know you. And perhaps most painful of all, never discovering what might have been possible if you had allowed yourself to be truly seen. Awareness is where transformation begins. The pattern loses some of its power the moment you recognize it in action. Next time you feel that familiar urge to create distance, try pausing. Notice the sensation in your body, the tightening in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, the subtle impulse to withdraw. Ask yourself gently, is this pattern serving me now? Or is it an echo from another time? Simply witnessing the pattern without judgment creates a small space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your freedom. Moving beyond this contradiction isn't about dramatic change. It's about small moments of brave presence. It begins with compassion for the part of you that learned to protect itself this way. Try saying to yourself, I understand why you push people away. You learned this for a reason, and I'm here with you now. Then, experiment with tiny acts of allowing closeness. Stay in a vulnerable conversation a moment longer than feels comfortable. Express a need directly instead of hoping someone will guess it. When the urge to find fault arises, pause and look for what you appreciate instead. When someone offers connection, practice receiving it fully before responding. These small moments compound over time, gradually rewriting the old story. Here's a truth that your fear of rejection may have hidden from you. You are more resilient than you think. Even if rejection comes, and sometimes it will, you have the capacity to meet it, feel it, and move through it. The pain of rejection is intense but temporary. The cost of perpetual self-protection is a life half-lived. And here's another truth. Not everyone will leave. Some people will see you, truly see you, and choose to stay. Not despite your complexity, but because of the depth and authenticity you bring. But they can only stay if you allow them close enough to see you in the first place. Imagine for a moment what might be possible if you gradually allowed your fear of rejection to exist, without letting it make your decisions. What connections might develop? What depth might your relationships reach? What parts of yourself might be free to express? This isn't about becoming someone different. It's about allowing more of who you already are to be present in your relationships. It's about discovering that you can survive being seen. That vulnerability, while frightening, also creates the conditions for the very connection you desire. If this journey resonates with you, I invite you to join our community at 9 Mirrors. Together, we're exploring these patterns and discovering new possibilities beyond them. Perhaps the greatest paradox of all is this: the parts of yourself that you fear will cause rejection are often the very parts that create genuine connection when expressed authentically. Your sensitivity, your depth, your complexity, your yearning for meaning. These aren't flaws to conceal. They're the doorways to the connection you seek. The journey from fear to openness isn't linear. It's a spiral path of progress, retreat, and progress again. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate it. Remember that each time you choose presence over protection, you're not just changing a pattern. You're creating the possibility for a kind of connection you may not have experienced before. A connection rooted not in perfection, but in authenticity. Not in invulnerability, but in shared humanity. Not in control, but in courage. In the end, perhaps the most healing truth is this: you don't have to choose between safety and connection. With practice, presence, and compassion, you can learn to feel safe within connection itself. And in that space, the old paradox dissolves, replaced by a new way of being, seen, known, connected, and wonderfully, imperfectly, authentically you.